Hello everyone, I am here to present my paper titled Post-Occupancy Evaluation of Educational Buildings in Warm Humid Climate using BUS methodology to understand the implications of naturally ventilated building design on human comfort. There has been a growing awareness about the effect of carbon economy both at global and local scale, and scientists across the world are exploring various methods to address the climate change and reduce the greenhouse gas emissions. A naturally ventilated building can lead to the reduction of carbon dioxide emissions and reduce the energy consumption and also increase the productivity of the occupants, provided the occupants feel comfortable with the physical environment. Human comfort can be defined as the sensation of comfort with the physical environment in its totality. The factors that affect the human comfort are temperature, humidity, noise, light, and smell. This study has mainly focused on educational buildings of higher learning educational institutions in the warm, humid climatic region of Madurai. The abstract: comfort in architecture can relate to many aspects of how a building gets designed. One of the main challenges in educational buildings in warm, humid climatic zones is to provide a thermally comfortable environment to satisfy the needs of the students and teachers involved in it. The present study has tried to analyze the occupants' perception on the thermal performance of the building using post-occupancy evaluation survey results. This study has carried out POE survey using building use studies post-occupancy evaluation methods in 4 separate building blocks located within an institutional campus in Madurai, out of which 2 are naturally ventilated and classified as type 1 and other 2 are mixed mode and classified as type 2. A comparative analysis between the 2 types has been carried out by analyzing the results of the POE survey. The results reveal that the occupant satisfaction with respect to the thermal performance on both cases in summer was lower than the BUS benchmarks. Figure 1 shows the location of the case study buildings within the institutional campuses, and it's marked as 1, 2, 3 and 4. Building 1 and 2 are type 1 buildings, and building 3 and 4 are type 2 buildings which are naturally ventilated. Figure 2 represents the facades of the case study buildings. The BUS survey methodology. A total of 600 surveys, 150 to each block, were distributed, but only 210 occupants responded back, 110 from type 1 blocks and 100 from type 2 blocks in the year 2016. The respondents were faculty members and undergraduate students of age group 18 to 55, 40% male and 60% females. The questionnaire was personally distributed to all occupants, students and teachers during the morning hours of the day. The completed questionnaires were personally collected within half an hour time if the occupants were free, but by the end of the day. The ratio of teacher to students among the respondents was in the ratio 1:4. The responses to the variables are sorted on a 7-point scale called the A-type scale. Figure 3 represents the results of one of the variables derived from the BUS questionnaire survey. The benchmarks are denoted by 3 vertical lines on the top scale, and the scale midpoint is denoted by 3 vertical lines at the bottom scale of each variable. The test results are denoted by 3 colors, the green, umber and the red, where green squares show the mean values are higher than the benchmark and scale midpoint and hence in good agreement. The umber circles represent no difference and the red diamonds show a poor score. Figure 4 and 5 represents a summary of the overall performance ratings of the 12 variables surveyed using the BUS questionnaire survey in type 1 and type 2 buildings respectively. From the results, it is evident that the variables with the mean scores higher than the benchmark levels are denoted by green squares, showing that the occupants feel significantly better. The umber circles are closer to the benchmark and slightly higher than the scale midpoint, representing no difference in the occupant sensation. The red diamonds denote significantly worse sensations. In both type 1 and type 2 case study buildings, it is observed that the overall temperature in summer was significantly worse and marked by red diamonds. In type 2 buildings, it was observed that the overall air in summer was also lower than the benchmarks and the midpoint limits. The figure 6a and 6b shows the BUS scores for temperature overall and air overall in summer in for type 1 and type 2 buildings. It is noted that 68% of the occupants were dissatisfied with TS over in type 1 buildings in summer, and 80% of the occupants in type 2 buildings were dissatisfied with the temperature in summer. The overall ratings of air in summer in naturally ventilated classrooms of type 1 building are lower than the benchmark, and the results showed that 26% of the occupants were dissatisfied, whereas in type 2 buildings percentage of occupant dissatisfaction was higher compared to type 1 buildings. The subjective measurements of thermal comfort revealed that the occupants in naturally ventilated buildings had higher acceptability levels than the occupants in air conditioned buildings. The students were not able to concentrate on classes. The building design implications. Based on the observations on the building design of the case study buildings, it could be inferred that the orientation of the buildings, presence of courtyards, thermophysical properties of the building envelope, window to wall ratio, and shading devices might have an influence on the thermal performance of the building. It was identified from the responses that the occupants in NV classrooms that were enclosed round courtyards with aspect ratios 1:1 or 1:2 or had cross ventilations with windows oriented towards north and south, windows with proper shading, felt thermally comfortable, whereas occupants in NV classrooms that had windows on one side only or windows oriented towards east or west or higher WWR or windows with no shading devices felt thermally uncomfortable. Conclusions. The POE results revealed that the occupants in NV buildings were dissatisfied with the temperature and air in summer, whereas in mixed mode or type 1, the occupants were more dissatisfied with the temperature alone. The students stated that they felt tired and restless due to increase in temperature in the afternoon hours in the NV lecture halls. Moreover, it was found that this drawback did not affect the productivity of the students, since the students were adults and they exhibited adaptive behavior to adjust their comfort needs. Since the POE results showed that the occupants were dissatisfied with the temperature and air in summer, it was decided to conduct a field study of the outdoor and indoor thermal environment of the learning spaces to identify the building design implication on thermal comfort. Thus, the BUS POE results act as an effective database which can be used by architects for further investigation and development of research ideas for the efficient design of naturally ventilated educational buildings in warm, humid climatic regions. I would like to acknowledge Professor Adrian Lehmann for having given permission to use BUS questionnaire under license and his valuable support and feedback during the project. Thank you.